here. What's good, everybody? It's your boy EMW Figure Shelf, and today we're going to be talking about Super 7's New Japan Pro Wrestling Series 1. We will now be taking a look at Will Ospreay. As we get a good look at the front of the packaging, it is mostly a squared shape with a black background and blue at the bottom, representing a wrestling ring with a window showing Will Ospreay and the accessories he comes with. And in the back, a little bit of a bio of his name, his height, his weight, where he's from, his finisher, and his Twitter handle. Super 7 logo at the top, Japanese writing, and the New Japan logo. The accessories here include 5 pairs of hands, an interchangeable head, a sword, and a Best of Super Juniors trophy. Also included with the accessories is a really nice blue soft goods jacket with a lot of red and white added into it to reflect the English colors, along with a red shoulder pad and a white shoulder pad. Also included under it is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now, it may not be a shiny vac metal on the plates, which is a little bit of a downside. And the sides, you've got to be really careful when you take the belt off the figure, because I have seen them break. There is a lot of nice detail on these belts. Everything's painted, all the side plates are painted, and in between the side plates are painted, which looks really good. Alright, and as we look at the figure, initial thoughts right out of the package, it doesn't look too bad. But let's get into all the details and the pros and cons out of this one. As we can see from the attire, a lot of black and red and gold here. It's actually a really nice representation of him, with one red boot on the right and then one black boot on the left, with a lot of blue trim at the bottom, and then the English flag on each knee pad. Looking at the head now, the Will Ospreay head, you could definitely tell it's Will Ospreay, but there's just something about it that still could be a little bit better about it. It definitely is a downside compared to the digital rendering. The back here is a bit of a disappointment. They did a very different two shading on the skin, which we'll dive into more, and as you can see from the elbow joints, it's pale, along with the back part, which just looks unpainted. And then looking at the wrist tape here, it has a weird faded effect, which looks like the paint from the skin tone bled into the white tape. Also noted that the elbows and knee joints. The elbows and the knee joints are single jointed, they are not double jointed, much like other figures on the market. I do like to add a minor detail, which is a plus, is they do work with the WWE Mattel stands or ringside exclusive ladders that have the pegs in them. There's definitely a lot that can be said with it that is a downgrade from the digital rendering and what we were expecting. At a $45 price point, it is steep. If you can overlook a lot of these issues like I was able to, you might enjoy this figure. Alright, here we'll be taking a look at Tomohiro Ishii. As we get a look at the packaging, again, very similar to the Will Ospreay, just now saying Tomohiro Ishii, and then we look at the back, same type of deal. Height 5'6", weight 220 pounds, from Kanagawa, Japan, and finisher, the Vertical Brainbuster. Accessories here include, again, 5 pairs of hands, a interchangeable head, which is not too far off from the head he already comes with, just more of a squint aesthetic, and then a chair, which is really nice, a really nice looking chair. It actually looks more realistic. Also with the accessories includes the Chaos Stone Pitbull shirt that he wears very often. The only thing interesting enough is it doesn't have Velcro, which you have to pull over, which can be pretty much a pain. I definitely think next time they do these shirts, they definitely should include Velcro rather than just pulling the shirt over in the figure. Also included is the Never Openweight Championship. Same type of deal. More of a dull look, but again, just a lot of detailing on the plates. The plating itself looks really nice. Looking at the head scan now, this is actually a really nice look of Ishii. I think they actually captured him really well. Moving on to the rest of the figure though, as you can see as we move the figure around, just mainly black and white. Black tights with a lot of designs going around, and on the left side, on the left thigh, you see a Stone Pitbull logo, which is synonymous with him. And then you even see it on the back there toward the middle, on his lower back. Also noted, the same thing with the Will Ospreay, single jointed knees and elbows, which is definitely a bummer for most people. Also interesting enough, a lot of people are kind of upset that he wasn't included with wrist tape, which isn't a deal breaker to me. The elbow pad is actually a really nice soft plastic. It's not stiff at all. It definitely makes the elbow still more mobile. Overall, I'd say this one is a sleeper figure. This Tomohiro Ishii, I think this one they did really well. I mean, again, the make of it, when it comes to the extra joints and stuff, that's more of a issue within the figures themselves overall. But as far as representing him, this is how he looks. This is Ishii. You know, I've gotten to see him live, ran into him in person. Again, not a big guy as far as height-wise, but very tough, very physical, hard-hitting. But overall, with Ishii, there's some details missing, but I'd say this was the sleeper figure. Alright, now we take a look at the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tarahashi. We get a look at the front of the packaging now, and then as we turn to the back, similar thing as everyone else, the height, the weight, where he's from, Gifu, Japan. The finishing move, the high fly flow, and his Twitter handle at the bottom. Accessories include 5 pairs of hands once again, a extra head, and a flying V guitar. Also with the accessories is the white IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Plates look really well done, but for the championship strap itself, it is white, but the strap itself was black because when you do take off the snaps, it is black, showing black. The white paint is actually coming off, unfortunately. Lastly, with the accessories is the entrance vest, the duster, which is really all different types of shapes and whatnot. You know, like a V shape on the back there toward his boots, and just really nice detail work. This is like a really stiff leather. I would suggest being very diligent when taking it off. As you can see at the top left there, he has it's like a black spot. That's really like a felt, like a black felt added on. But you know, it's mostly a black, maroon, and white. Just really all different cool designs. As we look at the bottom of the figure, you can see the boots here have a nice, like, white, glossy finish on them. It actually looks very close to what a real wrestling boot would look like. And then looking at the knee pads, on the left knee pad, it says Hiroshi Ace Tanahashi, with the right ones with 4 stars saying High Fly. Black trunks here with silver accents and designs on front and back, and then the sides say Ace, with a white text with blue outlining on each side. And then the armband is a black armband with white and gray at the top and bottom with gray text. Although these figures are single jointed with the knees and the elbows, I do kind of like the pivot on the elbow, as you can actually get really nice forearm shots when you're taking pictures, because forearms are really big in Japanese culture, no matter what company you're looking at, whether it be New Japan, All Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, a Joshi promotion, which is the Japanese female promotions like Stardom and Wave. Now, going back to the Tanahashi, the sculpt, you could definitely see Tanahashi in both faces. Personally, I think the smiling face is better for him. The rendering was obviously much better. I wish they did have something more distinct of him. But again, this is a really nice representation of Tanahashi overall. For me, I'm personally happy I finally have an official Tanahashi figure. It's for his first figure, it's a great representation, I feel. The attire is great. The accessories are great. The jacket's awesome. And I actually got to meet Tanahashi at WrestleMania weekend 2 years ago, actually at WrestleMania, funny enough. As soon as I'm leaving WrestleMania, there he was able to get a picture. But yes, I'm very happy to have a figure of the Ace. So this one I would recommend too if you're a Tanahashi fan. Alright, now it is time for your main event of this review with the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Front of the package, you see window of the figure and all the accessories. Turn to the back, same type of deal. Height, weight, where he's from, Aichi, Japan. Finisher, the Rainmaker, and his Twitter handle. Accessories here include the 5 pairs of hands, extra pair of hands. I would also like to mention, because I haven't in this review yet, and I apologize for it, that the hand to hold an accessory does have unpainted tape, which is a huge bummer for a lot of collectors. Not too much of a deal for me, but it's definitely something I would like to be changed. An extra head, and yen, a representation of yen molded together, and a stick of gum, or as I mean, another thing of yen. I do definitely think, as you can see the details if you really look into it and zoom into it, but it's going to be hard to see on camera at all anyway. But you can see little details, but it's something that, again, can be worked on or even highlighted within some nice paint applications. Also included with accessories is the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, IWGP Heavy Q. So the belt is actually really nice. This is probably my favorite one of the wave. You know, just a lot of gold and silver. All the rubies are painted red. Just really, really well done, I think, for the Heavyweight Championship. Just, again, be very careful when you're taking these off the figures, as they can break if you're not careful enough. Also, for accessories, gold chain, as well as the leather jacket. Just a lot of nice detailing. Gold, purple, silver, red, all mixed in. This is Rainmaker on the bottom of the back there of the jacket. Just really nice detailing on the jacket. Very similar if you're a Mattel collector. The Undertaker jackets, it's pretty much that same material, and it's very soft. Moving to the attire now, you can see on the right knee pad, it says KORM, which is for Kazuchika Okada, Rainmaker, and then on the left knee pad, you see designing with Rainmaker in the middle, with black boots and red laces. And then you go along the attire, you can see an R right there above the left thigh, and just a lot of silver on the top lining, black with gold and red designing. Pretty nicely well done. I do think the red R is a little overlapping, and I see little paint smudges overlapping a little bit. I don't know if it's just mine or not. The head here, actually, definitely it goes back to what I said with the Tanahashi, where the rendering was just better. And for some reason, it just wasn't applied here. I'm not sure really what happened. Think it could have been an oversight. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I'm sure they can correct it eventually over time. Again, not bad likenesses with Okada. Again, it's one of those things where you could tell it's him, but it knocks it down from that perfect figure that we were looking for, especially at the $45 price point that these figures are at. All in all, though, again, not a bad representation of Okada. I've seen some statues of him that they have made in the past. I've seen other versions of Okada in different forms of an action figure, and not a bad one. Really, still really damn good. It still looks really good in my opinion. It's definitely one of those things where if you're a hardcore New Japan fan and you can look a lot of problems away, you might want to pick this one up. You know, again, this is all based on preference and opinion. At the end of the day, these are still really nice figures. They're still, in my opinion, even very good to close to great figures. They could have been a lot better. I do think at the price that they're at, it definitely want to have a lot more for your what you're paying. But at the end of the day, I'm still very happy to have these figures. It's all on preference. If you guys feel comfortable picking them up, if you feel that it's justified, by all means, I would still recommend them. Absolutely would recommend them. It's just one of those things where trial and error, some things that they didn't perfect, and it's nothing that they can't fix down the line. So, again, if you really are a huge New Japan fan like myself, I would recommend these absolutely once again. So, thank you all for watching this video. If there's any questions or comments, leave them down below. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!